Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening. It's my big mucker, Southside, in the late, yes, the late Robert. How we doing, boys?
Hi, good. It's good to be on with Robert tonight. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox, evening, Southside. Apologies for running late.
We don't do apologies in here, we just do it right.
Still prepared, mate, don't worry.
You're going to turn up for breakfast?
I hope I'm awake by breakfast. I'll be starving at that point.
Aye. How we doing, mate? All right, congratulations for what you're doing, mate. Fantastic.
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it. I looked into it last year, and then just circumstances didn't allow me to do it. But this year, taking on the challenge, I hear I'm following in the footsteps of a Rangers Radio legend in Fox doing it as well. So, looking forward to it, mate. A wee while to go yet, but yeah, something that's certainly to look forward to.
I think Fox ended up in the dugout with 4 Barretts, if memory serves me right, Southside.
I think he got them for Clacky Pats, didn't he?
I think so, mate.
Was it Clacky Pats, was it? Or was it that other place? On his
It
usual haunts?
It's a memory, he says, will last with him for a long time. I think it was Baltic.
I know, good on you, Robert. And I'll get you some shrekels sent your way, son. Good on you for taking part in doing it.
I will sponsor you, but I've committed all my winnings for the Southside Super 6 as well, as you know, Robert.
I did hear that, and I'm hoping that Southside's got a good selection for tonight for the weekend ahead.
No comment.
Well, we can wait till later and they'll hear it, won't they?
Aye. Okay, right. Before we move on with the show, Robert, give everybody the link. Young Robert's doing a big sleepout for the Rangers Charity Foundation and put off for cap to him, yeah. And well done, mate. And give the link, mate. That's you, Robert.
Sorry, mate.
Give the link.
I can post it in the chat.
You need to say it so the listeners,
Facebook.
It doesn't work if you don't say it on radio, mate.
No, it's on the Rangers Radio social media pages. I will share it on the Facebook chat as well.
We'll try again, mate. Southside, tell them this is radio. You need to speak.
Yes, you need to say the actual link so the people listening can follow it.
Yeah. We're on the radio, Robert. We're on the radio.
It's a lengthy link, but it's www.justgiving.com/page Rob-call, and it's Robert's Big Sleepout 2023. Any donations is highly appreciated. I have put a wee bio on it, what the sleepout's about and what it's going to support, and the reasons that I'm doing it myself personally as well. It's supporting obviously the homeless and Rangers Charity Foundations as well, which includes the Glasgow Children's Hospital. That's one that I've unfortunately had the pleasure of being in with my own kids and family members, so it's very close and personal, and sometimes the nurses up there don't get the recognition they deserve. And as I said, any donations is appreciated, no little or big it may be. It certainly goes a long way to help somebody out there, so thank you. And if you do like to keep updated, I'll put posts on throughout my night there as well. Maybe do a wee Facebook Live or something, just to kind of shred the atmosphere of what it's like under the lights at Ibrox in an empty stadium.
There you go, it's radio. I'll tell you what we'll do, Southside. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll get Fox and we'll get an advert done. And we'll get it all done professionally, and we'll play it up to the big sleepout. What do you think, Southside?
Aye, that sounds a good idea, mate. Aye, we'll do that, definitely.
Aye, we'll do that. Mr. Fox, clear your diary. Right, we go on with this show. And good luck, mate. Good luck. How are you, Southside?
Aye, I'm brilliant, mate. Aye. Well, happy. Obviously, the results with the Rangers. makes it extra special. I watched the game on Wednesday from my big pal's seat. Since I was missing him, I thought we'd go up there and just sit in his seat and watch the game. Astonished to see Bridgeman still signing autographs and getting a couple of selfies done in the Copeland. They didn't know I was up there, but I could see him, mate.
Well, you know what he's like, mate.
He's no shy, is he? He's no shy, I know. He's certainly no shy, is he?
That's a star. How are you, Robert?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Looking forward to the show tonight with yourself in Southside. I'm sure there's lots of discussions. Again, like Southside, we watched the game on Wednesday night from the comfort of my own chair. And again, a game that job was done. Wasn't pretty again at times, but certainly job done, move on, and we look forward to Aberdeen game tomorrow.
Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do, right? We'll hear the first part of my manager's interview. We'll take it for them above the show, but remember, people, this is a phone-in show, so remember, it's simple. 0141 356 1972. Give us any of your thoughts on Rangers. What your team's going to be, what you think's happening at the club, anything. And the boys will answer it. Right, so let's hear our gaffer, Michael Beale.
Michael, would it be possible to start with an update on fitness of Kemal Roof?
Yeah, he's away for a scan, so no news on that one at the minute. So he didn't train today with the rest of the team.
Optimism levels from you in terms of this weekend?
No, listen, until we get the news back from the scan, we don't know really what we're dealing with. Obviously, it's disappointing for Kamar because he came back into the team and did so well until the other night. And listen, this is hope it's nothing too serious and he'll be available in the short term rather than the long term.
Sorry, just a final clarification tomorrow though.
No, at this moment in time it's too soon, yeah.
How frustrating is this? I know we've been here before, but in terms of trying to find any sort of rhythm and give you maximum choices in the forward areas.
Yeah, it's frustrating because he's such a big player and such a very good player that is hard because he's not been available as much as he likes now for free managers, you know, not just myself. And yeah, look, it looked like he was in a really good place. He was contributing well. So let's just hope he's just felt a niggle and come out. But, you know, the right thing is to get the scan and he's off for that this afternoon.
How do you ensure that it's an exciting opportunity for others to come and show what they can do rather than an extra burden on them to carry the can?
Well, listen, I think it's important. Like Kamar's not been in the goals as much. You know, the other strikers have scored more goals this season. It's another opportunity for them. It's a busy schedule. We was going to have to use the squad anyway. Certainly in the forward areas is the main areas we're depleted. We've got, you know, good cover across the back. We've got 10 fit defenders at the moment, and if you wanted to shuffle the pack around a bit, you'd like to have one or two of your forwards fit. But it is what it is. It's Aberdeen's fourth game in the last 8, 9, 10 days as well, or whatever it is. So both teams coming into this game this weekend have the same issues in terms of recovery and playing again, and then we have a nice break really until we play away at Limassol.
Does this recent spell perhaps serve as a learning curve to the new players, that not only is it a big reaction when results don't go well, but even when you do win matches, it's sometimes not necessarily enough to satisfy everyone?
I think they just got to focus on their daily work in-house and their role in the team, and then, you know, if they perform well in their role in the team, everything will take care of itself. And the outside noise and opinion's always going to be there 360, as you say, when you win, but, you know, even louder when maybe you don't do so well.
Michael, how important is it to build on Wednesday night? You said after the game it's just about winning games, but is performance important this weekend as well?
Yeah, but listen, you have to define what a good performance is. So, you know, clean sheets and defending are part of a good performance. Sometimes we don't think that because we want to be in full control, but games of football, there's always going to be difficult moments in. That's why I was so pleased the other night that in a quarter-final, I don't think Livingston had a shot of no on target, which in any game of football is a difficult thing to do because of set plays and teams can be a little bit direct. So that's part of a good performance as well. And so, you know, if we define a performance as free flowing, attacking football and scoring 3 or 4 goals every week, that's a different way of looking at it. So I think tomorrow, where we're at this moment in time, of course we want to perform well, but the points are the most important thing. And with the players we got out, it's important that we're strong defensively and that we we create chances with the forwards that we've got. You know, we don't have a number of players in the final third that are a big part of what we're trying to do. That's just obvious for everyone to see right now.
The team has been so strong defensively so far this season, but when you speak a lot, you say you want it to be fluid, free-flowing, attacking football. Have you been surprised by how impressive your defence has been? And does it mean you perhaps need to focus a bit more on the attack, or is it just the way the things are going in your coaching?
No, listen, I think a good team's always built off a solid foundation defensively. I think in Europe for the last while, we've not always been strong defensively, so it was so good to get the clean sheet against Betis, who are a dangerous team. Domestically, we've had clean sheets and we've only conceded the odd ones here and there, which even those goals we would probably look back on with disappointment about the way they went in. So far, so good. I think we're having the least shots on our goal. Our goal is doing well, but he's at this moment in time, he's facing the least shots, which means the team in front of him is also doing well.
Just finally for me, on Aberdeen themselves, do you expect them to come at you a bit more than other teams have at Ibrox this season? And if that is the case, can that play into your hands? Can they create more space for your attackers to find?
Well, I think they're a team that's built around their front two. That are good players for sure. They've come off an important week for them. I thought they performed very well in Europe in a defeat, but in terms of the performance, we'll give them a lot of encouragement. And then they've beat Ross County twice this week. So they come into it the same as us, but, you know, their front two obviously have caused us problems in the past as well from last season. So the games have always been close. We know there's a little bit of edge in the air, would say, between the fans, which is healthy as well, I think.
Michael, you've had 4 clean sheets, I think it is, since Ben Davies came back into the team. You spoke about him after the Betis game. What's he given you and how's he impressed you since he came back into the team?
I think after the international break or during the international break, it was an area that we wanted to look at. Obviously, we just conceded goals in big games that were partly our doing. So as a whole group, there was a focus on our out of possession, our pressing, our shape, our distances. And there's been a lot of focus on the team's rhythm in possession, but a lot of that we had to allow those relationships, and we still are, to form. But defensively, we feel we could put ourselves together as a team. So I've been pleased with that. Ben coming back in has been part of that. The reason he hadn't played prior was he come into the ended last season with an injury, come back to pre-season with a separate one. So he's only been available for these games. He's been knocking the games out. I've been pleased with him, but it's been a team effort as well. It's not just him, it's been a full team effort.
You spoke about Nico Raskin and Kieran Dowell when they could be back at the weekend. Any update on how Todd Campbell and Danilo are getting on when we could see them again?
Yeah, I think there's no change on either of them. Obviously, Danilo's one. He's still not been back to see the consultant yet, so I'll have more news after that. He had to wait a couple of weeks after the surgery, which is not until the middle or the start of next week. Todd's not back with the group yet. Nico's back out with the rehab team. Kieran Dowell joined in very, very light training this morning, but the weekend's far too soon.
John Lawrence is here also after the international break?
Yeah, at this moment the same, yeah.
Oh, thanks for that. Southside Kima Roof, if it's a groin, mate, it could be 6 weeks, you know. Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's just disappointing again, isn't it? Back fit, recovered for a hip injury, and now he's got a groin injury. It's like you say, it could be 6 weeks, it could be longer. Also, we'll just have to wait and see by the time the scan comes back, and probably well into after the international break anyway, before we see Kima Roof back.
You could potentially talking about maybe potentially middle of November.
November, aye, definitely. No, but disappointing for him as well, obviously. He'll be frustrated by it. No, it's not as if it's one of the recurrent injuries that he said he had in the past. It's just, unfortunately, it's a groin injury this time. So just have to go with it and hopefully be back soon and we hope.
Aye, fingers crossed. It doesn't come back that we've got a bit of positive news. Robert, we can't catch a break, can we, as far as his injuries concerned? It's like deja vu.
I know, and it's surprising. We've spoke quite a few times this season on this show about the return of the doctor, Mark Waller, and how much that was a boost in terms of the fitness and the injuries as a minimum. but it just seems to be a reoccurring thing for us as a club the past 18 months, 24 months. So it is a bit worrying, and I think, as Southside said, it's frustrating for the players because it seems to be the same ones that are getting the wee niggles here and there that prevents them to get a run of games. Michael Beale spoke about it after the game midweek, that Yilmaz hasn't had a run consistently. He gets a goal midweek and has to come off with a precaution, and Lawrence gets an injury and it was put out at the time that it's a precaution, and now it's another injury layoff. So it's frustrating. I suppose the only positive maybe to look at it, if you can, is they're happening now and they're coming back round about November, where the kind of games come thick and fast. I know they have been these past couple of days, but certainly more so into the winter periods. It's when they get the more games and injuries are more likely because of the conditions we're playing in. But certainly frustration, and it looks a wee bit thin when you think about it, looking at the squad of attacking options.
I'm getting a bit concerned, Southside. I don't like the muscle ones. That gives me concerns about maybe warm-up, etc. Yeah, you know, if you have impact injuries, you're saying it happens. Warm-up, muscle injuries give me concern, mate.
Well, the game started quick and with a fast tempo at the game and during the week, you know. So it might have just, it could have been anything else. I don't mean, maybe he slid in the grass and maybe just tweaked a groin. I mean, I don't know, but he didn't look Kemar if it was actually on the park at the time when he picked up that when he's talking about his groin injury. Kieran Dell obviously went out with an injury. I don't know what you actually said was wrong with Kieran Dell, and obviously he went out with a knee knock. Cantwell and Raskin's supposed to have a calf injury, isn't it? He picked up at training, I think. These things, I think, it's just part and parcel about players pick up over a season, Ops, but it's just unfortunate for us that it's most of our signings that are at the moment when we probably need them.
So, creative will get Cantwell, Lawrence, Danilo, Matondo, Roof. A few quid's worth there, Robert.
There is, and it's certainly all, as I said, attacking options that leaves us a wee bit thin. Wasn't that long ago, a couple of games that we had Scott Wright playing almost centre mid or left mid. Nobody could make your mind up where he was playing, and you're asking players to maybe play positions that they've got no history of doing just to fill a void. And as I said, it is worrying because it is a wee bit consistent of injuries. It's the same muscle problems, and that's the ones that can not have a timeline on it. You maybe say 2 or 3 weeks, but it can be longer, as we've known, in kind of years gone by. And as I said, the last 18 months or so, it's certainly been an injury hit squad that we've built for some reason. We've assigned players that just have injuries, and I suppose, again, the only other thing is you've got players maybe getting back into kind of rehab and a bit of fitness, light training, one in, kind of one out almost. But again, as you say, it's a lot at one time, and it certainly impacts squad selection, consistency. We've been talking about a consistent starting 11. We can't get one with these injuries.
No, last year Southside it was the centre halves. It seems to be the creative players this year.
Aye, we've had a fair share. I think we're getting the doctor back. I think it was a big plus for the club. But if it's a calf knock and a groin injury, it's nothing really he can do to prevent anything like that. But I think as going forward, I think that we were using some type of company and all that was saying about when you might get an injury, how you could maybe pick up a hamstring injury during all these things that they were testing the players for. But I just think you should just be gauging the players on how they feel game to game. You know you've got to give them a rest at some point. We've got a heavy schedule of games, and I think it's how you manage them, Ox. But unfortunately for us at the moment, our creative players in the forward areas and midfield, that is suffering this time for us. Whereas, like you said before, it was in the defence last year.
Hi, and I'm glad you mentioned defence. That gives us a chance to mention Ben Davies. You've been a fan, Southside. I think you were in the minority. He's come back into the team, arguably, in the last 4 games, being my most consistent player. And we've no lost a goal. So Thoughts?
Oh, I liked him as a player. Ox, I thought, I get he was last season, you could pick some faults in his play. First season at the club. But I think he's got a good understanding of the game. I think he's a good reader of the game. I think the way he controlled the ball midweek, picking it out there on his chest calmly and then bringing it down. You might have seen many a centre-half just header that right up the park. I think he's looked a bit more physical this year. I can see him more grabbing players, tussling a bit more. I think he's been a bit more dominant at times in the air as well. So I think since he's come back in the team after the break, Ox, I think he's been a good influence to the defence. I think he's been steady. I think he's had plenty of decent games. And like you say, we've not managed to concede a goal. I know our goalkeeper's helped in that. But I think he's played really well, and I did like him. He made a couple of mistakes. There's no a defender in our team that's not made a mistake. I don't know if a lot of the support like him or no, but I think he's been really good since he come back in, Ox, and he's certainly a good football player.
Aye. Would you agree with that, Robert? The last 4 games, he's been our most consistent player since the last break.
I would agree, mate, and I said myself previously that I would have kept Ben Davies just because of the natural left-sided footer and that defence. It's no. It seems to be that kind of partnership. Bill touched on it there about him and Goldson having a solid relationship kind of last season before Goldson got injured. And I think was at the start the other night somebody brought out that Rangers haven't lost a league game with they two as a back two centre backs. Is that right?
Aye, I believe so, mate.
So if you're going to pick your best centre backs, then you need to look at that start almost. And if any injuries happen, you've got John Suter there who's more than capable to step into the right or the left, as we've seen. But it's certainly a big bonus to have another option there at centre back.
I think the balance is better with a left and right footer, if I'm being honest, south side.
It's the way teams, if you can get a good left-sided central defender, then most teams try and go with it. I mean, Big Suter was all right. He had some good games at the start on the left, and then we started losing the odd goal here and there. Wee bit unfair on the big man, because playing on the right-hand side, Big Suter looked good before Connor come back into the team. He was playing well on the right-hand side. He was taking the ball out for the back because he felt more comfortable when he was stepping forward. And he's a decent passer of the ball. But at the moment, Ben Davies has come in and the defence has looked a bit better. So hopefully it'll continue until either John can get back in the team or he wants to rotate it a bit slightly. I think it'll be down to the manager, but at the moment I can see Ben Davies being the first choice player at the moment in that position.
Yep. At the moment, without a doubt. Right, okay, we get these phone lines opened and then we'll hear from your gaffer again, yeah?
Aye, mate, aye. We've got a lot of people to get them on and get them in and talk. We're on a win and run, mate, so there should be a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I've worked it out, Robert. You're all right playing with the Rangers, playing with the big boys now, you're struggling a wee bit, yeah?
That could be it, mate. That could be it. I need the old guard to keep me right here.
You know.
Expertise, pass it on.
Right, let's hear the rest of Michael Beale's interview. The big stories with injured players in the first part. And let's see if we get a bit of positivity. Who's actually going to play tomorrow? So let's hear for the gaffer, Michael Beale.
After the game midweek, Abdullah was saying how much he was looking for a confidence boost after getting goals, and he got that the other night. Do you feel that's what maybe a couple other lads need, a confidence boost?
Yeah, listen, I think goals per minute, Cyril's done well and Seema's done well, and Danilo before he got injured done well, as good as anybody in the league. Would they like to have done more, and if they have opportunities to do more? Yeah, I think so, and I think they would agree with that. But where we are right now is Cyril, Abdullah and Sam have an opportunity to play, and through that we'll give them rhythm for sure. I thought Sam was very good first half the other night. I thought Abdullah was, in moments of the game, his pace and his direct running was very, very important to the match as well. And So look, there's opportunities for them. I think Cifuentes is getting stronger the more he gets to know the team. I thought the midfield functioned well the other night. It was nice to see Ridvan come back in, a heck of a goal really, which I didn't really mention after the game, but his first goal for Rangers, it was a fantastic goal, and he showed the difference really, what he brings to the team to Borna. Having said that, I thought Borna's pass for our third goal was a particularly good pass as well. So we seem to have some strength in that area at left back, and I keep telling everyone at some point I need to give him the opportunity to show it. Dujon Sterling's a heck of a player as well, who's obviously competing with James Tavernier. So in the fullback positions, I feel we've got strength right now.
So have you got a decision to make at left back?
I've got a decision to make, yeah. I think they're both, Borna went away with a niggle that hasn't really gone away, and then Ridvan's picking up on his fitness. It's one that we're managing. I think we'll continue to manage that probably up to the international break with the two of them, to be honest. We'll have to be careful when we play either one.
Just on Ben Davies, Michael, there was a bit of noise in the summer that, he could be leaving, perhaps alone or permanently. How close was that?
With Ben, when I came into the club, he played probably the first 17, 18 games straight out. And our record in that time, if you remember, was very, very strong. So he built a relationship with Connor very quickly. Towards the end of the season, he was injured. He come back to pre-season with another injury. There was a lot of noise in the air about us looking for another left-sided centre-half. And I think people got confused with thinking we wanted to replace Ben. We just wanted another left-side centre-half, because when he was injured in the first half of last season and at the end of the season, we was having to play people on their wrong side, and I wanted the left foot balance. But my relationship with Ben's always been strong. We had some honest conversations about where he can improve, but as he said himself, it was never in the plan to sell. And also you have to have an offer that you think is right. I think every player at a club in Scotland, if the offer's right, then you're listening. But there was never an offer that ever got anywhere near it. And Ben was just focusing on getting fit, if I'm honest. Yeah, the interest wasn't there, and Ben wanted to be here, which was a key thing for me as well coming into this season. It was a season of a lot of change, and I wanted to make sure they had the right people in the building. And I think when Ben's played, I don't think anyone can question him. I think his performances in the last 4 games have been excellent, and he's shown his worth. And so all that noise, I think, needs to, or will, if he continues to play like that, the noise will obviously disappear, because everyone can see he's a key part. And as I say, the first 20 games I was here should have proven that, really, because he played in every one of them.
Going back to Kema, Michael, did he play with an injury for part of the first half?
Listen, I think when I spoke to him after the game, he said he felt it halfway through the first half, and I would like him to hold his hand up. Then he felt he could continue on, but at half-time, I asked him if there was an issue, and he said yes. And so then we come out and take no risk with him. It wasn't a typical Kamar performance. I thought, obviously, Sam and Abdullah were getting more touches than him, and he was a bit quiet in the game, and that's obviously, he was obviously a bit stiff in his groin, which is not an area that's ever been an issue before. So it is what it is. And listen, with the schedule and amount of games that we're playing, these things, that's why you have a squad. These things will appear from time to time.
Is it just his injury record, do you think, that forced him to play on, if you like, pushed him through when he may well have come off? Had he been another player, if you like?
I don't know. I think he knows the moment the team's living in. It's a quarter-final and he wants the team to do well. I'm sure if he felt he had to stop, he would have stopped. But Kamar's an experienced player, and he gets to half-time and then he has the conversation, no problem. We have Cyril to come on, but we're a bit light in those areas. It's a quarter-final, as he sat here the day before and told you all, it's a competition he was desperate to win. So I don't think he wanted to come off until we get to the stoppage and we have the conversation.
Michael, there was a big goal midweek from Alex Lowry out on loan at Hearts. Just want to know what you've made of his loan spell at Hearts so far.
I spoke to Stephen Naismith at length before he went out to make sure it was right for Stephen and for Hearts, but also importantly for us, for Alex. It was a chance for him to go and play in the league at a big club and showcase what he's got. I thought he started ever so well. I've not followed or asked the reasons why he's not played as much of late. But I think obviously they're fighting for a bit of form and with their schedule around Europe. I went last week to the St Mirren game. He didn't get on, and obviously he got on in the last minute and scored almost straight away. So he's learning what it's like to be fighting for a shirt. He's learning what it's like to be outside the confines of Rangers, which I think is really important for him growing up as a young man and a young football player. And I think in moments he's shown that he's got, real good promise. And other moments he's shown that he needs to improve and learn and fight and earn a shirt. And all of that that's going on is brilliant for Alex Lowry.
Michael, just on the margin of the victory against Livingston and the performance, how important was that for you going forward, for the group, going forward into the international break?
Yeah, I think, look, we're in the middle of a big schedule. We're focused on the next game. It's pleasing what's gone before in terms of the 4 results and the clean sheets. And it was nice to score a couple of late goals. The game was very similar to the previous game against Livingston, where they tried to make it hard for us for long periods. And when they opened up in the second half to chase the game, both in the league game and the cup game, the bigger space gave us an area to punish them. So I was pleased with it. Pleased for Ryan Jack scoring late in the game as well. And all around, what the game proved the other day is when Livingston sat in, they can make it difficult for you. When they come a bit higher, Abdullah's speed was always going to be a problem for us. And it's good that we've got the variety like that.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Doing a bridgeman there, right? Okay. We just can't catch a break with players. We are down to the bare bones outside, if I'm being honest. But the defence, we were in 11 defenders off it.
Aye.
Midfield was short, wings were short, forwards were short. So the defence is all right, but the rest of the team were down to the bare bones, mate.
Aye, I'm going to have to ask the players to do another 60 to 90 minutes, the ones that we've got left again. We've still got 3 or 4 players that we can use in the midfield. And up front, so obviously we've got Seema and Dessers, and then there's your pal Scott Wright, should he be needed. But aye, we're a bit short. But as we carry on, as we're carrying on to the next 2 games till we get a break-ox, but it felt like we had a big squad when we started. Like we said, we had a lot of players trying to fit them into the team, but as we say, you always do carry 1 or 2 injuries, but at the moment we've got at least 6 or 7.
Aye. Right, I'm going to put you in a spot here. Robert, for what you know and what you've heard, that was your teammate.
Do you know, I had a feeling you were going to ask that, so I've wrote one up. Butland. I'm going to go a back 3. Suter, Goldson and Davies. Tav and Yilmaz as wing backs. Lundstrom, Jack in the midfield. Lammers in the 10. Seema and Dessers up front.
That's right. 3 in the back. Tav and Borner is Ridvan is the wing backs, yeah?
It's essentially a 5-2-1-2, but attacking is probably a 3-4-1-2. Lammers in the 10. Seema with Dessers up front.
Seema Dessers up front. Okay. Right. South side, what did you think the chance of playing a back 3 tomorrow was?
No chance.
Do you think we should send him to get drugs tested at HR in the morning?
Yes. Maybe just straight after the show, in case it gets out his system before tomorrow.
Maybe when the tune's on. Is that what you're saying?
Aye, I think so.
Right, okay, right. What's your thinking, Robert?
Just the options we've got, mate.
Is that the team that you would pick, or is that the team that you think Michael Beale will pick?
I think that's the team he will pick. The only potential change I think there would be one of the defenders, probably Suter, drops out and Cifuentes comes into the middle. I just feel he might see this as an opportunity to kind of get Tav and I think Yilmaz wide, to kind of give that some bit of width and a bit of freedom to go forward, knowing that there's 3 centre backs sitting
So
there.
we should play.
I know people say
we should play Aberdeen at Ibrox with basically 7 defenders on the park. Is that what you're telling me, mate?
It's just the options we've got, mate, that I would go for, and I think that's how we'll set it up.
I think you'll be pretty close with the personnel. I think you maybe want to do maybe 1, maybe possibly 2 changes to that personnel south side, but I don't know if the shape will be that.
Nah, I think he'll play a back 4, Robert. I think he'll probably no play Borna because Yilmaz isn't in the European squad.
Have we got any fit players south side?
No, well, we need to get fitness into Yilmaz. So I would imagine he would probably start at left back. The only thing he could do, depending on how he was looking at the midfield, is maybe push Tav up 1 to start with and put Sterling at right back, but I don't see it. I think Cifuentes will play, and I think Lundstrom will play. So the only one is who'll sort of play left, because Ryan Jack doesn't suit the left-hand side. And
hello there.
You might keep it the same. I think maybe Lammers will definitely start in there, and I think it probably will be Dessers and Seema. I think there's only one place where we might debate a player might come in or out. I don't think there'll be many other changes because we don't have that much to change.
I think one of the reasons, Robert, and I get your rationale, but I think one of the reasons is obviously with the Ballington on the bench is cover. But I think you'll go with a 4 with Suter being your cover. If something was to happen, mate. Yeah, but you never know. We might see it. Evening, Stuart. How are we doing?
Hi, guys. How you doing? All right?
Aye, good to hear from you, mate. Good to hear from you.
No bad. Listen, listening to Michael Beale's sort of press conferences, he seems a wee bit more relaxed tonight, I thought. And I think, I'm looking at it on the bright side. Got a lot of injuries. There's nothing you can do about that. He's really got to. I think he's kind of got a good relationship with the players, and I think the ones that he's picking are obviously trying. They're not just sort of down in tools. I think he's got to go the more. And I was hearing what one of the guys was saying about 3 at the back. I'm not opposed to that, but what I think he might do or he should do, I've heard them sort of boosting Sterling up a bit. So my team would be obviously Butland. I would take Sterling at right back. I'd have Goldson, Suter, and Ridvan as the 4. I'd take 4-4-2. I would have Tav, Cifuentes, Lundstrom, and Lammers. So it's 3 left-sided players doing the left, obviously, and Seema and Dessers sort of up front. And Seema's probably for me better on the left than there's on the right. So Seema could fill in with Lammers if he's coming forward to create that 3 in the middle. And if there's any attacking for Aberdeen, they could go back, whoever's nearest that spot. So it creates a wee bit of width there as well, because if you've got to play Dessers, you need service into the box. He's a big guy, he likes to get on the end of things. He's not getting on the end of anything because there's not really anything coming in. I think if he got a goal or 2, I think it would boost his confidence. And you came what? See the last 3 games, Rangers, I've had the 3 correct scores, so I'm going for 2-0 in the morning as well, so there you go. That's my take on it all. So I don't know what you think of that.
Bridgman's a 2 out of 4.
Aye. I've had 3, then that's no bad.
Aye. What's the problem? I think this new south side. Do you think south side there's any possibility that my good friend Scott Wright could start tomorrow?
He could, because he might use Seema, and he could use him on the wing or slightly off for a bit of pace, because we're not really going to have pace throughout the team depending on the midfield that he picks. So he could feature, but if he does, I think you'd need to play him wide right, because he was a winger. He's not doing the boy any favours with playing him on the left-hand side in the position he played him the last time, or you're trying to get him inside. But when you gave him the ball, like she showed for the first time he managed to run it, Livingston last week, he went direct right at them, straight through the middle. But after that, we didn't really get him on the ball to do it again. Stuart, I was interested in your team, right? And you've took Ben Davies out your team and put John Suter in. What was your thinking?
No, sorry, I meant to put Davies in. Sorry. I heard you talking about Suter. it would be Suter, what do you call it, Davis, then you've got Ridvan, and then you've got Lammers kind of keeping it all left-sided players up that left-hand side, obviously. Sorry, I made the mistake there every day. Meant to say
HR's going to be busy. HR's going to be busy tomorrow. So
I think so. 3:45. But Sterling's been wanting a game for a wee while. I could see it in him. He sort of looks a bit disappointed. So, and Beale's been praising him. I think he's a really good player, Sterling. And I think him at right, it kind of shoves Tav out of it. Tav's needing shoved out a bit. He's had it all his own way for a long time. He needs to feel that pressure. Look, this guy's having a good game. I'm getting edged out a bit. And if Tav doesn't play well, he could be forced out a wee bit. It's the easiest way to get him out rather than just taking him out right away. Do you understand what I mean? Take Tav out right away, it might demoralise the thing a bit. But if you're moving him about a wee bit, he might think, oh, wait a minute, I'm on a shaky nail here. I'm getting squeezed out. That's what I feel anyway. That's going to happen within the next games, absolutely, for me anyway.
Well, I don't think Tav's been great. I don't think he's been poor. So I say, but I don't think he's been great, you know.
Nah, he's not been, but he's not been the worst. Still has to. It's still frustrating. He's still got to run across to each corner kick we get, you know. Nobody else seems to be able to take a corner kick. A couple of times he's had a couple of good deliveries in, but a few of the times he's not getting to buy that first man again, and it's just frustrating. But at the moment, he's got to pick his form up, I think, like a lot of them. But this is what we're looking for, Ops. We're looking for him to start to try and click into gear and that. And I think Michael Beale as well, as you said, John Sterling, I think he's alluded to it, Stuart, that I think he's probably dying to get into that team and get some game time. He's not really had much. So at some point, I think if we'd been playing well, Stuart, and we'd won all our league games and that, and we'd been starting to click a bit, I think he would have made more changes. But with the injury situation at the moment, I just think he'll stick to the tried and tested. I don't think he'll really change too many.
All right, we've enjoyed it, Robbie. Evening, Robbie. How are we doing?
I'm all right, pal, yourself?
Aye, good to hear from you, mate. What's on your mind?
I just want to clear up with the injuries we had. Is it maybe a chance to get some young players in, like Bailey Rice and the young guy we had in central defence at the start of the season, or pre-season?
I think the big Feku's injured. He picked up a surprise. So said he picked up a Morton the other night, didn't he?
I was doing it again, mate. He got injured. He got a calf injury. It looked like a calf injury was holding the back yet, and the Rangers took him off. Don't know if it was serious or what, but it was enough to take him off that night anyway. So he picked up an injury. Bailey Rice, when he came on the other night, he didn't really get into the game. I think for these boys to get some game time, I think we've got to be playing well, and we've got to be on it at the moment. I know we've got injuries, and you could probably say, well, why not try him? But he'll no feature against Aberdeen. It's too big a game. Then we've got a European game, and we've got St Mirren. So I think we'll just go with the tried and tested of what we've got at the moment, mate.
Would you start him tomorrow, Robbie?
Well, I think Michael Beale's really talked him up, and if he's talked him up, he must be good to start against Aberdeen.
He's got to get the team first. I think what was he didn't go on the park, Robert. He didn't go on the park on Wednesday night when we were 3-0 up at the time. That surprised me. So I can't see him getting a start tomorrow personally. But I would love to be 3-0 up in the boy to get some minutes tomorrow, Robert. Huh?
Absolutely, mate. I don't think he will start. I certainly think he'll be named on the bench, because if we don't name him on the bench, then it's probably an empty seat. It's an interesting point that Robbie makes about the young players, and I'm going to kind of look at the striker option when I say this. We have Dessers. After that, you're looking at Zach Lovelace as potentially the backup striker just now for Rangers. I know Sam Lammers in his interview today mentioned that he could play as a striker, and we've obviously seen him play more as a kind of 10. So has Beale been a bit looking this week in training following the roof injury that Lammers could be a backup striker if it's not Lovelace? Again, it's two young boys who I think will be named on the bench. I don't think they'll start, but certainly if you've got that comfort blanket of 2 or 3-0 up at home, as you said, get the legs, go in, get them some minutes at Ibrox, rest some players for a European game midweek as well, like Southside said. So I can see obviously Robbie's thought and maybe bringing Bailey Rice into it, but again, the magnitude of the fixture and the pressure that's on the club just now, it's possibly a game you don't want to throw him under the bus as well and look after him and protect him as a young boy.
Would you start him tomorrow, Robbie? Would you personally start him?
Personally, I think there's other players there that could start ahead of him, but I think the best thing for him would be to get like a wee half hour, 20 minutes. If you said that if I was like 2-0 up, maybe come on and see what sort of impact he has.
2-0 up, get him on. I don't disagree with that, Stuart. We're not anxious to see the boy, but we've got to be fair on him.
No, I mean, I still think you've got to put down a marker in the game. I mean, I don't know what you all think, but I've watched Tav. I'm not criticising Tav. He's a great player. I love him. He's done really well. But
stick to Bailey Rice, mate. Stick to Bailey Rice, yeah.
Right, okay, right. Sorry. Aye. I mean, left sided. We're trying out for kind of boys of that nature. I've watched a few playing here and there, and I wouldn't start right away, but I would be looking to get him on at some point. He's talked people up, and one of them is Bailey Rice. He's talked him up quite a bit, in fact. He says, I think he said he's 16 in a couple of weeks or something. The way you see that he's ready. It's the way you say he's ready, as if to say he'll be starting soon or he'll be coming on soon. I think he would like to go him on against Livingston.
We were 3-0 up, mate, and he never put him on.
I know, but I don't know why he didn't today. I wouldn't want him coming on, to be honest with you. I heard the commentator saying more substitution. Livingston guys coming on. I thought, I just didn't understand him why he wouldn't do that. I mean, he brought him on against Motherwell. We're only winning 1-0 under a bit of pressure. The boy didn't do anything wrong, but never got a load of the ball. But I don't know. I would have him on for about 30 minutes if I could do that. If you could maybe get a goal or two up, I'd get him on for 30 minutes. Give his confidence a boost anyway. I think it's important to do it. I think it's important.
I get it. So said, when does it help his development if he's only sitting on the bench and he should be away playing games? You know, just all of a sudden you end up with a month and he's hardly played any football.
Aye, well, he didn't play in the B game that we went to at Capello. And like you're mentioning, I mean, he's exceptional for that age level. A lot of people will tell you that he's probably better. He has to be run about first team players. He's training with the first team, but it's trying to get into your first team. We need to be maybe 2-3 up at home, and then if Michael Beale feels like he can give him a bit of game time. We thought that when we had Alex Lowry there as well. People were coming on the show saying Alex Lowry should go in the park and all that, and that didn't happen very often. And you're mentioning Lovelace. Lovelace is good at his age level as well. And he was playing Alwa, it was Alwa's first team, and there were a lot of big boys in it, but it was a bit physical. He is quite good. He's got a bit of pace, but I just don't know if he's ready yet. But he could come on and get 10, 15 minutes, look good, score a goal, and everybody will think, oh, there you go, he should be playing every week. But he's no, because he has bad games in the B games as well. And he plays sort of wide in the B games along with Archie Stevens. And that wee boy is a cracking wee player as well. But it's about their size and development and trying to get a chance. And when you're a striker at Rangers, it's going to be a bit harder for you to get game time. Bailey Rice has got a chance, left-sided player in the midfield. We've got injuries on the left-hand side, but he's only about 16, going on 17 ops. But he's only about 17, I think. No yet. So it's great that he's 16 and getting game. He's had a bit of taste of first team action. But I still think he's a wee bit away for getting much game time even this year. This is a crucial season for us, and we need to be winning games. I mean, we've got a league title to win. So, I want to see them on the park. I'd love to see them on the park for Glasgow Rangers, but it will be limited this year on appearances between they two, definitely going forward, I think.
17, Southside takes us back 10 years.
Aye, I'm 12, you're 10, aren't you?
Decades, mate, decades. Right, listen, I get it, Robbie. I mean, we're all anxious to see Bailey Rice in my first team. We want to see him and we want to develop him. But I think what you might see as players come back, you'll see him disappear, play for the B team, to play a bit more football. And he might appear on the bench, and if the timing's right, we'll get him on. It's about getting it right for the boy in his career, and hopefully he's a star for us because he wants to play for our club, mate.
I know, just with Southside mentioning Alex Lowry, we missed the chances with him. I know he's still a Rangers player on loan at Hearts, but we also missed the players with like Billy Gilmore and Nathan Patterson.
But remember, Billy Gilmore and Nathan Patterson wanted to leave their club, mate. They ultimately moved. Billy Gilmore moved. Yeah.
But were they offered contracts?
They were both under contract when they left, mate. You know?
Aye.
Yeah. Money talks, mate. Money talks. You know, and I don't think Rangers could afford, if I've been honest, I think it was about 15 game Patterson had played Southside and we got £12 million deal for him. I don't think we could knock that back, could we?
No, well, you could have knocked it back if you thought long term, but I think Nathan listen, if you're a young boy like that, your ambition probably is, if you're a blue nose, to play for Rangers. We get that. Probably looking at it down the line when he sit and thought about it, and a big money offer comes in and it's English Premiership. He's looking, maybe am I going to get a game in front of the captain who's been playing well and been, at that time had been successful, won the league in that. No, so he made the move. It was hard to keep him. Billy Gilmore never played a first team game at Rangers, did he? He got snapped away. Big money, got lured away. And the other boy that Steven Gerrard got a holiday and took him to Aston Villa. That boy was scoring plenty of goals for the at Ibrox, and he got lured away to Aston Villa. So listen, we've brought probably a few boys through. Lowry's the one that's on loan. If he comes back and he can be a success at Rangers, because there's been a few players that went out on loan and come back and managed to do it, then we'd love to see it. If no, then we need to look to try and get decent money for them. And that's what we do with our academy boys. If we're going to bring them through and spend money with them and they don't make your first team, if they're going to go elsewhere, then hopefully then we're going to make a few quid out of it. Then let them go for nothing.
I know he scored the goal at the weekend, Robert. During the week, the winner. But he's not exactly set the header on fire at Hearts neither, is he? He's not done a lot of minutes.
No, he's not. And again, when the loan move came up, I did think he would leave on loan, but I was a bit surprised that it was to Hearts. I kind of expected it to be maybe a Livingston or a St Mirren, just where he would get more game time and be a bit more influential in games. It's obviously a nice touch for him personally to get a winner and obviously get Hearts into that semi-final that they've earned that result with. But again, if you're comparing Lowry and Rice, for me, what's probably clear to see is a difference in attitude. And I know that's mentioned a lot with young players having the attitude and biding time. I get that Lowry had some kind of personal issues and things going on, but it just some games where he did get a chance, he wasn't exactly grasping anything, whereas Rice looks to kind of get on the pitch, whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes, and just be involved in the game. And he's always scanning. If you watch him closely, he's scanning every time to find the next pass before he's even received the ball, which is good to see from a young age. I certainly think he is one for the future, but as I said, we need to protect him in a way. But it is the old motto, if you're good enough, then you're old enough, and we'll maybe see more of him. If we get an injury to a midfielder, we might end up being light in there, and he could be the next in line before Raskin or Lawrence are back.
Yeah, did we contradict ourselves here, Stuart? We mentioned Jim Forrest last night, came into our team as an 18-year-old and never looked back. You know?
Well, I think if you're good enough, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, going on about Lowry, it kind of reminds me, he puts me, he was a player, but at the same kind of level as a Barry Mackay type of player. Looks good potential, but he's never got to fulfil it for me. When I look at Rick, he seems to be above that level, like Patterson, if you like. When you seen Patterson to start, you thought, this boy's got to be some player. You just felt it. And I get that feeling with Rice. I didn't get that feeling with Lowry. I think he's got to make a living as a player. But no with Rangers for me. No with Rangers. Just my feelings about it.
I'll be on him. It'll be interesting to see how he plays it. He's got ability. Yeah, but it's application and endeavour sometimes outside. Yeah, I remember the game against Motherwell around about Christmas last year. We wanted him to start, and he was non-existent really.
He's still a young boy, and obviously the team need to be playing well when you bring the young boys into the team. We're talking about flinging a young boy in the new, and the team aren't really playing that great at all. And it's a lot of it's putting a weight on their shoulders. You usually bring them in. I mean, look what we've done to Leon King. We had no option but to play him through Champions League games and that, and flung him in the deep end. Gives them wonderful experience, but it's certain positions when you're trying to break into this Rangers team. There you go. You've got Leon King trying to get in at centre back. You've got Lowry, and you've got the boy Bailey trying to get in, and you've got the boy Lovelace who's trying to get into the team to score goals. It's hard positions and it's hard to get in the team, and we've just bought all new players. But we have to show faith at some point in these academy players, as I've said before on the show. We need to try and get boys through and into the first team. And if no, then if somebody comes calling in England, then you want to sell them for good money. But hopefully we want to see them first and foremost playing a Rangers jersey for the first team.
Interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens, and as I said, we're all anxious to see Bailey Rice growing at our club. Stuart, have you thought the options are limited in certain areas of the pitch, you know, and hopefully we'll get some injuries back after this international break once we get there, and no more injuries before it, mate?
Aye, well, I mean, we're kind of halfway there to where we were, if you like. We've is it 3 games left? Aberdeen, with Cyprus, and then St Mirren sort of thing. St Mirren could be the toughest of the 3, to be honest with you. But I strongly feel that we'll get these 3 results in our favour. We do. I mean, the way I look at it as well, Beale's got a kind of free hand, roll of the dice, if you like. He changes in the last chance saloon. And I think he's a bit calmer about that, thinking, oh, well, what have I got to lose here? He's not going to think too much, but maybe stick a Rice on to start with. But he needs to do something just a wee bit different, because Aberdeen will be plotting what they're going to do. And they're going to be in the same kind of areas as us, with maybe depleted squad, if you like, because they've played a similar amount of games up to this point. So I think they're still going to be stronger than them. I think he will stand by certain players, but I just get a feeling, I hope that he plays Sterling with Tav up front. I just hope that would happen. It gives us more attacking options. I think so anyway.
Did you see you were going to play Tav?
Aye. Tav at the kind of like a 4-4-2 type of thing.
And play Tav in the right side of midfield? Yeah,
I would do that. Because look at it this way. I don't know about you guys, but anybody that's on one-on-one with Tav, your hurts in your mouth, because just like that big guy with Livingston, you see him brushing him out of the way the other day, kind of knocked him off and got on with it. Type of thing.
6 foot. The guy is
I know.
6 foot
5, you
know?
But I looked at that, is it Maeda, Celtic, the way he's quite nippy in that. Tav's lost a bit of pace. A great player, I love him. But a wee bit, push him up there, he's getting the balls into Dessers. That could be a game changer for me. And it gives Tav a new role. Either fits into the role or Sterling will take his place, either at the end of this year or certainly next year.
Maybe, just for the record, how many goals we lost the last 4 games, Southside?
None.
With your abacus, mate, yeah? Right. Listen, get yourself a mute, lads. We're going to have a tune.
Oh, every other Saturday's my half day off, and it's off to the match I go. Happily we wandered down the Copeland Road, me and my wee pal Joe. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh my. Oh, we love to see them cry. see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. We've won the Scottish League almost every time the League Cups assemble too. We get some exhibitions in the Scottish Cup. We are the cup winners true. And when the Rangers win the European Cup, as we've done with the one before, we'll gather round the Ibrox 50,000 strong to give the boys an Ibrox roar. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. But I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Oh, we love to see them cry. We love to see the lasses with the blue scarves on. We love to hear the boys all roar. I don't have to tell you that the best of all, we love to see the Rangers score.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. Well, we move on to another week in the last man standing. You picked your team, Southside?
No. No.
Listen,
Is that you
Fox.
just gloating, is it? Is that you just gloating?
Yes.
I'd have wished you it last week. But I couldn't.
Fox has changed his times, more times his team, more times he's changed his girlfriends, mate.
Has he changed it again?
Oh, mate, you've never heard anything like it. Yeah, all of them. It's unbelievable. Aye, there's about 9 left, mate. 9 left.
Well,
I'll let you know how it goes tomorrow, mate. Yeah.
Well, hopefully Fox will go through and you'll go out.
That's not very nice.
Might as well be honest, innit?
Aye, right. I'll tell you what we're going to do then, since we're being honest. Let's hear the Southside Super 6.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for September the 30th. My first selection this weekend is Arsenal to win away from home against Bournemouth. My second selection is Manchester United to beat Crystal Palace. My third selection is Newcastle to beat Burnley. The fourth selection is Cardiff to beat Rotherham. My fifth selection is Derby County to beat Cambridge. And the sixth selection is Swindon to beat Grimsby. If you take all 6, it pays 15 to 1. No, well, I was thinking that Robert's sleepover, right? And you said you were going to put donations into it. So I thought we'd start with just a wee one this week, just to get it started.
I mean, last week you got enough. What was it last week? 11 to 1 or something. You've really pushed the boat this week. All right, we're on again, mate. But 15 to 1.
I had to make a quick decision today, and I just looked through it and I thought they look all right. I'll go with them and them. And I got to the end, it's where it said 15 to 1. And I went, oof, all right, just stick with it.
Once you picked it, you've got to go with it, mate, yeah?
Yep.
All right, I'm in. Yep.
Good.
I'm in. Right, okay. Robert, you've got some news on the odds for the game tomorrow.
I have indeed, mate. Some interesting odds out there as well for us as well. A Rangers win is obviously the favourite at 2 to 9. A draw is 21 to 4, and for a sheep result, it's 9 to 1. I looked as well at first goal scorers. Now, obviously, we're quite limited. Dessers is the favourite, 92 for ourselves.
Wait a minute, whoa. Rewind that one. Rewind. Say that again.
Dessers is the favourite.
All right, okay, carry on.
Favourite to score first. May not be the fans' favourite at the minute, but favourite to score first. And then there's an interesting price at 11-2 for Sima, who's got 2 goals in 3 games. Tav Lammers, also 11-2. And interestingly enough, Zach Lovelace is priced at 11-2 for a first goal scorer.
I don't even think Lovelace will be on the bench tomorrow. Do you, Southside?
No, he'll not come on the park, I don't think, anyway, but 11-2, really? Oof.
Maybe shows how short we are, eh?
Aye.
If you want to put on a wee score, a Bridgeman gets you 15-2, a 2-0 gets you 6-1, and my prediction, a 2-1 gets you 15-2. And if you want to put on a goal scorer, I've went for Sima, Rangers 2-1, 30-1.
Wait a minute, we've not lost a goal in 4 games, and you're going 2-1 tomorrow?
I am, mate.
What is it with people that predict goals against the Rangers in a scoreline? I don't get it.
What's your point, Southside? If we were 2-0 up, he'd be cheering on them.
He's like, come on, get my 31 in here, we need a goal.
My 31
right, Robert.
talks you 15-1.
Aye, but I don't want anybody to score against the Rangers, mate.
No, yeah, but I'll take my money.
I get it. I just don't do that. I just don't do any team to score against the Rangers in a correct score.
Aye, good. Well done, Robert. Thanks for that, mate. A bit of information there, yeah. Well, listen, we're only mentioning odds. You don't need to gamble. It's going to be a bit of fun. We're only chatting about what's happening, you know. And if you're betting, remember, bet responsibly, Stuart.
Well, definitely, yeah. I mean, everybody I know that watches football, horses are that. Most of them do bet responsibility. It's like alcoholism. For some people, they can't have a bottle of beer without having 20. So it's up to the individual, as usual. But most people bet sensibly. A wee Yankee or a free crossing treble or something like that, a double. I'm going the morning for 2-0 to Rangers. You know what? I think Lammers will get a goal just to get his confidence up. He's had a couple of hard lines when he's took the wrong decisions and stuff. And I don't know, I just get the feeling that he could maybe be the morning. Either him or Dessers could boost their confidence a wee bit. But a strong 2-0 for me, and I think they've got to play quite well the morning. I just have that feeling. I'm always optimistic. You know what I mean? No, I think so. I think we're looking in no bad shape for to get a because we'll be stronger than them with the squad. I think they've got a couple of injuries as well. People carrying knocks, etc. So, but Lovelace at 11-2 for a boy that will not even start. That's just crazy. I mean, he should be about 16-1 anyway. I would have thought.
16-1. You've got to get him in the park first.
I know, that's what I mean. 16-1, you might take a shot at it, but God almighty, 11-2, no chance.
Are you sure that Dessers? You want to look at the handicap list?
No, I believe it or not, 92 for first goal scorer. It probably just because he's the only striker we've got at the minute. Can I give him that price? I think he's also had the most goal involvements for the club this season, goals and assists.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, isn't it? It's funny. Listen, I want to talk about Sam Lammers. I know he did an interview with the Southside. Yeah, there's a message for you as well in the chat, Southside. But I thought he played well in the first half as a team played well. Did the game a wee bit in the second half. But there was something that happened in the game, and I don't know if you picked up on it, big man, and the other people on the call. When Tav was taking the corners, a guy that's about 6'3" was coming out and standing in the same place where Tondo was. He scored 2 good headers for us in pre-season, and we've got him out in the wing. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Yeah?
No, I don't. I don't. I know. It's just frustrating. I think against Motherwell, they used the short corner, and then they passed it out to Lundstrom, I think. And then it came back again for one of them to cross it out. That's the first time that they actually used somebody. It was usually Matondo and then it was Lammers. But it's the first time in the last 3-4 games that we've actually passed the bottom. Usually we just cross the ball in. So I don't get why they do it. I get maybe they look to see can they play this short move, but hardly ever do we ever do it. He's better being in the box. He is tall. He might get a flick on. You could even have tried to use him the way we used to do the Joe Aribo corner, where we played it in at the front post, and he might be a guy might be able to flick it on. Who knows? But we've not really tried that set piece since Michael Beale come back. But I don't get this player standing at Rocks. It just frustrates me. He should be in the box or at the edge of the box because he has got a good shot on him as well. But standing there was no point at all, to be honest.
I agree. I don't know if you picked up on that, Robert.
I did, mate, and I think it was the Betis game that I noticed that he was standing at the edge of the box as well, and he obviously had a couple of chances, snapshots as such, on the kind of half volley. And then, as you say, he goes in the box and he wins a header and we get a goal from it. So
he came in at the back post and the goal actually made the winning goal against Betis. It'll help make it because there was about 7 players involved in this dramash, you know. But then we've got him standing outside. Next game was got him standing next to the corner kick, taking it. I don't get it, mate.
No. Beale said he brought in height. Now, you can't say you bring in height and not put one of the tallest guys in the box for an attacking corner or a free kick. It's the same as free kicks when Tav's putting a ball in the box or Borna, whoever's taking it. You see him kind of lurking at the back, but nobody actually targets him as a header. They always seem to go to Goldson. And don't get me wrong, I think maybe they're similar height, but they're both target men. And if you've got 2 big guys in the box, it's certainly, as Southside says, a wee knockdown and your striker or MD puts a toe poke in. Maybe Ben Davies puts a toe poke in and gets a winning goal. So it brings confusion amongst defenders. And you look at the other centre backs that he plays against in the league, not many are going to match his height.
Just a small thing, Stuart, but I found it quite frustrating on Wednesday night.
I mean, I think it's a matter of mixing it up a bit. They seem to do it all the time. I could understand why they do it or why they would try to do it. It disrupts the kind of rhythm of what everybody is going to do in the box. But what annoys me, I mean, you just said something there, which is true, which I liked. I mean, Lammers, when he got that header, Betis, he headers that somebody else knocked it on, that's in the net. Lammers arrived late in the box at that point, which disrupted their way and day, and they were all over the place. Betis, I think they had 4 touches in their 6-yard box before it went in the net. I sound like Michael Beale here. But it was all because Lammers arrived late. Now, our biggest problem is when they've got a guy out there with a man short in the middle type of thing, it could be used as a disruptor. But I would like to see the Goldsons and Davises and all that standing outside the 6-yard box if they were going to play that. Then you've got the defenders, they're not sure who to pick up because they're all mixing up and they're running in, they're all on the move. Where a lot of times the ball goes in, we're all static waiting on this knockdown. It's like going back to the 60s. You know what I mean? When you had the big guys at the front, Derek Johnson and all that, there wasn't a lot of movement. But I think they need to come out the box. And then if they've got to disrupt it like that, the boy stucks it, Tav chips it in at pace, and their boys running into the box. But split it up. Didn't use it all the time. When I see it happening all the time, like what you were saying with Lammers there, the biggest guy on the park virtually, it's just pointless. They need to mix it up. They need to have a lot of variety, especially when the ball's getting delivered into the box. I watch it. They're all standing still, trying to get leverage, and the defenders leaning on them and that. But if you're running into the box, they don't know what to do with it. I've been watching Tactics Manager on TV, I think, but never mind.
Maybe I missed the tactics. Who said he's to run into the box and they would have where he was standing. No.
Aye, the set pieces have been poor. We've played a couple deep to the back post and sort of tried to header it back across the goal. But we've looked pretty limited in our set piece moves altogether since the start of the season. It's been pretty poor. They were labelled at Queen's Park Rangers when he was there. They were losing goals for set pieces for and against. They were scoring some set piece moves, but they weren't great. And we've not looked great in anything in set pieces this season. Things have got to work on, but We don't have anybody up front that's good in the air. Dessers isn't great in the air. Danilo obviously got a header, but he's not very big and he's not much chance. But you don't really want to be firing high balls into him. You're looking for him to get balls on the deck, to get in the box and set up a chance for himself. We don't have anybody good in there, so when we're getting down the flanks and whipping these balls in, to me it's pointless. We should be looking to play through the channels and the lines and get people down the side of the defenders and whipping balls, cutting them back and working them across the front of goal. No playing high balls in for wide areas, because we don't have the players that are good technique that can header a ball. We've not seen it, and I don't think we'll see it all season, to be honest.
Aye. And the way we played, mate, we haven't exactly peppered the other team's penalty box with crosses near, if I'm being honest.
No, but, well, like you said, if you're going to bring Scott Wright in last week and stick him on the left-hand side, like you said, nobody really knew what position he was playing. Scott Wright, when he signed, was a right-sided winger. So it makes sense to play him on the right as a winger. And they're going to be inconsistent. He's just come into the team after coming on as a sub against Servette at Ibrox, and then you ask him to go out and perform in a position that wasn't familiar to him. If you want to best out the player, let him go and play in his true position. At least he's got pace and he can run at players, but you've got to give him the ball. And even if he loses it, you just encourage him to go and do it again. It's about encouraging players. It's not about getting on their backs. But you're just wanting to, I know they're there and they're meant to be performing for us and magic skill and all that, but we've got to look at the situation when you bring a player in, how long he's been out, and is he just back for injury, and is the team still trying to gel? But I was just using him as an example. If he gets a game tomorrow, for instance, if he's in Michael Beale's team, then I would rather he was on the right-hand side and not the left.
Hello.
Evening, Andrew. How we doing?
Hey. Oh, it's Chris Arden.
What's up, mate?
That's up. Hey, you're a bit down tonight, boys. You're a bit doom and gloom. Come on.
Oh,
Wake up. We're winning 4 games a trot. We're not going to see that goal.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big man.
Anyway, how's the Ryder Cup going? Are you there seeing one of your relatives?
Oh, hey, I'm happy, Larry, you know what I mean? But I'm saying to myself, I'm not this show in England. It's like, I am jolly, you know what I mean? Come on, we've been 4 games a trot. You know what I'm saying, Megan?
It's been a long positive, man.
You should say his predictions, I'm doing the opposite of it, Megan, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, what's going on here? We've won 4 games a trot, and it's like, we're not all day, he must be Maltesers. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Big man.
I get it. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day, but hey, we've won 4 games a trot. We've had 4 clean sheets. You know, the British press would bail out if we lost 4 games a trot. But we've won 4 games a trot. Okay, we only played great Baba, but we've done all right. You know what I'm saying, big man? You know what I'm saying?
I get it, Andy boy. Southside.
You know what I'm saying?
Andy, 100%.
You come in.
100% right, Andy. At the end of the day, since we've come back after the break, Ben Davies has come in. We've played well. Goalkeeper saved us a few times, so we might have conceded right. But at the end of the day, we're depleted as a squad. The football hadn't been great, and I think we're winning games. Some of the football's been quite good at times. I thought the first 25 minutes against Livingston the other night was quick, fast. We got right off the mark, and some of the stuff was good. Still don't think we're working the goalkeepers enough, Andy. I don't think we're creating enough.
No.
But aye.
Should say we've done all right.
Of course we have.
We've got. Listen, you take your injuries out of the equation. We've got like most of our strikers. We're main midfield. We've got we Canwell, wee Belgian boy. We've got 4 or 5. They're all first teamers, by the way. They're all first pick. So we've got. You could arguably say there's 5 or 6 players first teamers, and we're still winning 4 games a trot. Now, if that was the man came up, they'd be here, we've got the full team, We have 5 or 6 first teamers out of the game, and we're still winning. And I'm saying to myself, come on, he's a break. We're still winning. You know what I mean?
Aye, no, here, Andy, listen, Todd Cantwell and Raskin that haven't been playing that well with the ones that have been out injured as well. So since the ones that have come out injured and the ones that have come into the team to play, we can't say anything else, but they've got the victories. Aye, we've had a lot of games in a short space of time, and let's not be kidded, it does take a toll out the players. Some of them haven't had the match fitness to play all these amount of games, but they're turning out, and some are getting took off early and we're having to swap about. But as long as we get through and we beat Aberdeen tomorrow, which I'm sure we will, and then we take the European game and then St Mirren. St Mirren will be a hard game when we get there because they're doing no bad at the Range Stadium and they're doing a bit of form. But Aberdeen tomorrow is the one that we beat them tomorrow and then we just go into the next game, mate. If we win the 2 league games in that European game, for that squad, the way it is decimated at the moment, that's phenomenal, considering the form.
We should be beaten. Sorry. We should be beating Aberdeen and St Mirren and that team for Cyprus. That's a given. We should be beating them any times. The old Ox says, once a week and twice a Sunday. We should be beating them every week. That's what I'm saying. So, and we're going to an national break. Hopefully we'll get the boys back. But we are decimated with injuries. It's like unbelievable. There's Roof back out again. You know what I'm saying?
We can't catch a break.
We can't get a break, Ox. We can't get a break at all. We seem to be Roof's playing 2 or 3 games of draw. I heard his interview last week, and then he gets an injury. The Roy's training this. We can't get a break. We've never had a full. I'm not a Michael Beale, but he's never had the full squad to pick for. You know what I'm saying? And there's always been some. But hopefully, after the international break, we'll get everybody back, and then that was, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm going to boil. Okay, there's Roof out and there's this one's out. You've never had the full squad to pick for, and we're still winning. Oaks. We're still winning.
Aye.
With 4 clean sheets.
Would you agree if we win our next 3 games?
Aye.
It becomes a reasonable start to the season, doesn't it?
It does, Oaks. And I came and didn't beat the monkey mob. We should have beaten them easy, but
you'd have done, mate. We'll put it as
that's hindsight. That's what hindsight. But if we can stay in, we win our next 3 games, as you say, 2 league games, European game. That's you. The team for Cyprus. We'll beat them again. Beat them at Ibrox. Beat them away. And a result against is it Sparta Prague. Beat them at Ibrox. That's us practically in the knockout for the last 16. And that takes you into the next day. Win the cup. Win the League Cup. Because it's like, no, that's not no brainer. We should beat Hearts easy. But I maybe we're ranting raving a bit, but it's a bit doom and gloom. I think we're better than it. We think we're, you know what I'm saying, Ox?
Right. Right, mate, where are you? You still on holiday?
I'm in the villa in the Portaventura, aye. We're minted. I'm just your David, the boys just out of jacuzzi. He's phoning his pals now, but hey, it's only 27 degrees here, by the way. I'm like Frank Bruno, by the way. Know what I mean, Harry? Know what I mean? But I've been on, listen, I've been on every night, even though he says to me, you're Sandra, she's famous, she gave me around 2 years ago. Sandra says, you still on that RangersRadio? I goes, aye. The other day goes, give me a fair piece. She says, give me a fair piece. No, but I met a couple of pals doing the night, and we're going to the Flower of Scotland tomorrow to see the Rangers game. It's 20 minutes walk to here, so we're going to walk down the train tomorrow and a taxi back. So we're doing it at 12 o'clock to get Emma's there. No, hey, Hawks, I love it here. That's it. Our first week, and there's 3 weeks to go.
Brilliant, mate. Yeah. Brilliant. Right, we'll let you go. You're going to enjoy your night.
Hey, I'll hang up. And listen, I love you. This is the best show doing.
Every time.
Lots of show doing. I love. But South Side, he's a right true blues, and I'll hang up and I'll listen to this your station. Okay.
Cheers,
okay, big man. Take care. Cheers, Megan. Thank you.
What a man, Robert. Eh?
Sounds like a life and soul of a party. I'm just hoping he's get some sun cream on for that heat over there.
I don't think he uses it, mate. I don't think he uses it, but he likes the sun, the biggie. Fair play him. He's had a good time in his holiday bills around the Rangers south side.
Aye, he's always a regular on here and all. He's always comes home with something to say. Cracking caller, and it's good to hear him back on even when he's on his holidays.
Aye, I think he's had a couple of refreshments, just one or two. I don't know what you think yourself, Stuart.
I think he's had a couple of sherbets. I'm going on holiday next week, so hopefully I'm in that position as well. He was talking about being positive. I think we've been a bit positive. We've looked at the positives. The defence is good. We've had a couple of injuries and that. Fine. I think he's a folk an opportunity. We're all saying we've got to win, which is positive. But I think we'd all like to see, we all get frustrated, and Andy will get frustrated as well about the tactics, Tav's taking the corners and the short things, mix it up a bit. All we're trying to do is improve it. What we think, everybody's got different views on what would improve it, because we're all wanting the same thing. But I think we're all being positive about the morning. I've never went into a game no positive, if you know what I mean. And one of the main games that I was positive about was the Betis game. I was really positive about that game. It was quite uplifting. I thought that we run at the back of that, I think it's kind of helped us. So onwards. Look, I'm going to scoot away, guys. Good to talk to you again, and I'll let somebody else go. I've noticed there are about 140 watching, so get your phones ringing and get phoning in, get a few points made. Right? Okay.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon.
Cheers, then. Thanks, then. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, then. I've been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
How we doing, Mucker? All right?
Aye, I just thought I'd phone in and seen the Champions League players on the night.
Champions League players, young Robert.
Aye. Oh, no, Robert's maybe near that.
I'm in the Conference League still.
Oh, aye. Eastern Low League Conference thing in South East England. You're like Dover.
How you doing, big man?
Aye, good to hear you. How are you?
Aye, good, mate. Good to hear you on, pal.
Excellent. Aye, good. What was I going to say? Do you think, like, moving forward, a bit of faith's coming back into Michael Beale, or are we just treading water? Are we just treading water to the next calamity?
Southside.
I knew that was coming.
I know.
Well, big man, you've got. Aye.
You know what I mean? I must
Aye. Oh, listen, sometimes it's been a hard watch, big man, right? I always say, see when you travel away from home, right? See, first and foremost, 3 points for the Rangers, right? You want to see a good performance, don't get me wrong, you want to get entertained, but when you're travelling, the first and foremost is the 3 points for the Rangers. And
3 points for Big Stevie.
And that's it. And it's always been the way, Big Al, for me, you know. At Ibrox, you want to go, you're at home, you should be winning as you expect to win at home in this league, and you want to be entertained. And now you want to see good football away from him, but it is the 3 points. Football's not been great. I've seen patches of it, but I think we've played some no bad B stuff. You can see never sometimes the end product is let us down, Big Al. The final pass into the third that might have just let the winger go, or one into a striker, but I've got them through and goal in a few of the games. But chance creation normally in games since the start of the season and making goalkeepers work has been really poor. So that's got to be a lot better. I think the way the teams had to be put together for the break to now, I think they've done all right. I mean, we've got wins on the board, and Betis was a big test for us out of everybody we've played. And we got the result against them. And I think that probably gave them a bit of confidence. I think the amount of games that we've got now every 3 days is starting to take its toll on the team, and you can't refresh it the way you would. So I think the more if we could see a start like we started against Livingston, against them, the more that'd be really good, and hopefully we'd get a goal or two in that period of time, and that would see us through. But Aye, he's a draw or a defeat away for the Wolves about the door, and they'll be screaming to get him out. But I'd just like to think we'll get to the break, and then hopefully we've got the 3 wins under our belt, and then we'll maybe get 1 or 2 players back. And it is about just getting the performances being better, and we need to be, and obviously as long as we keep winning. And I think Ben Davies coming back has made a difference to the defence, and hopefully 1 or 2 players back for injury, like Cantwell, hopefully soon would be a good addition. They've not performed, but Big Al since they came in. Cantwell's not really played this season, but the other players we've signed, so you want to get Danilo back as quickly as possible, and hopefully he's going to be that wee bit extra, and somebody will maybe get on the score sheet regular. You want Cantwell in the team, hopefully firing, and you want Raskin back. And I really want to see Kieran Dowell back. I think Kieran Dowell would be been a good player on the left-hand side, but he's not had a chance, and he's been out injury. He didn't get in the European squad because of injury. So I'm just hoping, Big Al, we get these 3 wins done, and then after the break we can start to try and put in better performances. And if the wins come, it gets the performances, and it helps the team, doesn't it? And everybody gets that bit of confidence and belief.
You know what else has happened, Big Al? See, because you've won 4 in a trot, see if the next 3 games we do win, and it's not particularly great, it'll not matter, mate, because it'll be 7 wins.
Oh, no, definitely, aye. Definitely. That's, I mean, the old adage, a bridge man every game to the end of the season, and we win the league. We forget how we played, and we've won the league, and it's a trophy. I think it was a good summation there by the big man. I think, but a point in it that you said, the only winner or draw away for the Wolves being at the door again. That's the thing. That's always hanging overhead. That's always in the background type of thing, you know. So it's how do we get rid of that? How do we reinstill the confidence in our manager? I mean, I'm as a man, as a person, I think he's got good intentions. As a manager, there's that question mark. I'm not wanting to be negative about him. Like, I'm not wanting to hound the guy at the door. I'd love to see him turn it around and get confidence with the fans and the support. But I just think there's something there in the background. So I think moving forward, that hangs over the players as well. You know, I'm just trying to work out how do we get rid of that negativity.
If we win,
how does he work?
If we win up to the international break, Robert, things start looking more positive, because you could argue they're in a great position in the Europa League to move on, which is revenue to the club. But in a semi-final League Cup, it's not for everybody at all. And hopefully, if things go our way in the league, we could be closer at the top of the table. But if it doesn't work that way, we're still 4 points. Well, we've won 7 games in a row, and you can't say that's bad form, Robert, can you?
No, you can't, mate. Especially with the way the squad is just now. You could possibly say it's a depleted squad. So if we get through this phase with the 3 wins on the back of 4 wins, then obviously you look at it and go, it's a great result. Performances might not be pretty, but as I said before on this show, results are the most important thing. As Big Al said, you could win 1-0 last season and win a trophy. Nobody remembers how we played in November, October. Everybody remembers the wins and the trophies. That's the most important thing. But the fact that the squad is depleted, we're short on attacking options. If we do win games, that breeds a confidence. But again, it's just, I think we're at that stage just now, and we've got that mindset that because of the way things have been, if it is a defeat or a draw, whatever's happened before is forgotten about. You're only as good as your last game, and if that last game is a draw or defeat, that's where everything's looked at. Nothing really brings into consideration the 4 wins prior, the 5 wins, whatever it may be. But certainly, if you get to the international break, as you say, in a closer position than what we are, 2 European victories, a semi-final on the horizon as well, it's a good place to be in. And the injuries coming back after that international break, we could be sitting here talking again, who gets in the team? How do we fit all the players back in? And we've seen before, players can return from injury and be a totally different player and be that spark that we maybe just need.
Aye. Mature Brett, mature bit of luck, big Al.
Oh, definitely, man. Oh, aye. Luck. Well, that there's a lot in that, like luck, as you say. I mean, you get managers that are just lucky managers, teams that are lucky teams. I just like to see. I just like to see us getting that bit more performance. I think that goes a long way for the confidence of the team. If you're playing confidently, you'll try things. The crowd isn't on your back, and then you're building on confidence. It's a difficult thing for the manager to put in place, because I think looking at some of he's mentioned that Lammers, man, he looks nervous. I mean, he's got touches and things like that, but it's just, is he one of the players when it hits the back of the net, that's him, he goes in a roll? Because I think he's got something about him, but to me, he's very disappointing at the moment, and I think it is a bit of nerves. He's just, I mean, it's a big move for the boy coming and playing in front of 50,000 every week. I don't know how many he played in front of in Italy and Holland, wherever he was before us. But he looks nervous, but he's one of the players, and the manager seems to persist with him. So I think the managers try to keep him in there, keep the pressure on the guy, and hopefully, or the manager's hoping that he hits the back of the net, and then that's it for there on. And he's settled. He plays well. He runs smoothly. Becomes an integral part of the team. Don't know. Just he looks nervous for me, and I think that Dethers, he looks a bit nervous as well. I think you seen him after he scored that goal the other night there. I mean, he celebrated and he done his thing after the goal, like. But I think he looks a wee bit nervous as well. He looks slow also, but I think he looks nervous. I think the pressure's getting to some of the players, so the manager has to kind of shield the players for that as well. And I think really a bit of confidence is needed in the team, a bit more confidence in their own abilities, you know.
The biggest thing for confidence, Southside, is winning matches, and particularly if you can win them well.
Aye, winning them, and obviously, if you can see progress in certain players, and you can see what they're trying, and you can see a bit of them, Big Al, I think Lammers is, like you touched on, he has got good close ability, he's got good skill, he looks like he's got good vision. He's no imposed himself enough on a game for long periods, but he's no, when he's been in the team, if you look at the forward line, it's been switched at often as well. You know, we've not kept the same strikers and sort of players playing together. I think he's only played twice back to back. I think he played the same three, Servette in a cup game or something, I think, or a game after it. I think people said they played the same three, but that's the only time. But I'd like to see Murphy, Lammers, Sima as well. You need a
you like Sima?
I think he looks a bit clumsy to me sometimes.
I think that's just his physical attribute. But
I think through the middle, possibly. I think when he comes out in the wing, I don't know. I think he looks a bit clumsy and cumbersome, but he made a good run, and he was hitting that across the goal. I think for Dessers when it took the deflection and went in. He worked quite hard. I just think we need to get a settled 11 on the park, and I don't think we'll maybe see that. And the thing is, he's going to bring these players back when these players hopefully will get his 3 wins. And then we're saying, well, you'll need to change the team and get Cantwell in, you'll need to get Raskin in, you know. You know, these group of players hopefully will get us 3 wins in the next 3 games. And then hopefully once we get players back and they come back, then it'll be down to him to try and get, hopefully we'll see at least a regular 11 or a regular 9 every single week. Is that
maybe Beale's problem then, big man, that he can't work with too big a choices? He can't work with too big a squad. The way the injuries, things have started to settle down because he can only pick so many people. So
his horn's been forced,
you know what I'm getting at?
Aye.
Choice, he can't make his mind up. But where a smaller gene pool to pick from, it's made his life a wee bit easier. Like, that's who he's got to go with. So the message is a bit clearer. He's not, as like you say, he's not dropping players out and putting players in, and players have played kind of relatively well one week, and then they're looking to the manager and saying, well, how are you not playing me this week? You know what I mean? So then that upsets a bit.
Aye, no, I agree with you. He's been forced. I mean, let's be honest. Cifuentes, Raskin, probably Dowell, and you could probably say Cantwell if you weren't playing him in a 10. Day 4, would you think? Day 4, you would have thought would have started in a Rangers team if they were off it before you'd have seen a Ryan Jack in your team or a Lundstrom in the midfield.
Aye, well, that's the question I was wanting to ask you, actually. I was thinking about it last night. Cifuentes, I've only seen him on the TV. How does he look in the flesh? What's your gut feeling? What have you observed?
He's looked on the right hand side of midfield. I'm not so sure, but the games, like if you judge them against PSV, you know, I mean, you're judging away from him playing in that position. Also at Ibrox, they were quick games. We're on the back foot, you know. Going forward, I think if we could let him break, I think he showed positivity. He done it against Servette, put a lovely ball across. I think he's a good technical ability. I think he can see things. 1 minute you're saying that was nice, he's done some nice stuff, and then he's maybe out the game for a wee while. I'd like to see him.
Is that just a confidence thing, finding his feet?
It could be that, and it could just be the way we've been playing, Big Al. We've not been playing nice football, like in phone football. The way we've set up, he might just be adjusting. He's been in and out the team a wee bit as well, falling in for a few games, then took back out. So I think it's about finding his feet. But there is times he looks good and comfortable, and he's quite aware. I mean, there was nice games against Betis. When he spells against Real Betis in midfield, they look pretty good.
So what is we've got all the players back. What is our midfield setup with all the players back? Is it a Kieran Dowell? Who's the other English boy just came back? Welsh guy came back for injury.
Tom Lawrence.
Is it a Tom Lawrence, a Raskin, a Dowell, and a Cifuentes, like a midfield 4? Is that our best setup in the middle of the park?
Yeah, you asking me?
I am the Champions League guy.
I would like Kieran Dowell in my midfield, me personally. I think he just needs a run in the team left-hand side, probably. He could probably play...
What are you basing that on, Southside?
I just think he's a good player. I think technically when I seen me pre-season games, he was getting into tackles, he was full of energy, he was running about. He came on as a sub, he showed he could strike a ball. He was unlucky at Kilmarnock in the first game because although we were rotten, he was trying to get forward. He had a shot, but we were right behind the goal. It was on target, took deflection, went out of the bar. I think he's the same as Cantwell. He's played English football. He's experienced. The issue up here should be easy for him if he can get a regular run in the team. And I think it's just finding that slot. And I think a Ridvan or a Borna, Kieran Dowell and Ben Davies, that's your 3 on the left-hand side. Or you could play Tom Lawrence there if you wanted, if you weren't playing him as a 10, because I think Cantwell would probably be a 10 if you're playing that role. But
is that
a 4-4
position, the left-hand side of the midfield?
Well, he could play probably central, but I think he plays just to the left. Either lefty or C or central to the left. Raskin middle, Dowell left, and you could probably have Cifuentes.
Right, we'll leave the two, Robert. We'll let them go and get a room. Big Steve.
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, Robert, in you come, mate. In you come.
I have to say, I'm with Southside in this about Dowell. I've seen him in pre-season games, and the glimpses he showed something different to what we've got in midfield. He seems to be that kind of box-to-box kind of tenacity player, but as Southside said, he's got a bit of a shot on him. His pressing was really good in pre-season, and again, unfortunately, he gets an injury. When everybody's fully fit, your midfield option is probably your most overloaded position, and it's how you set up, it's how you're playing is maybe where your selection comes into it, but Raskin's probably a consistent one. I would put Dowell in just for what I've seen in glimpses. And then you've got another position up for grabs, whether that's Cifuentes, a Lawrence sitting a bit deeper, or a Cantwell. But for me personally, I would have Cantwell further forward. I think he's more influential. He can affect the game a lot more. when he's in that kind of free roaming 10 position. So there's certainly options. We've discussed it before, obviously, all the injuries of how you fit everybody in and what shape and what style you play. And hopefully that is a discussion that comes back after this international break. But as you said, if these players that are in the squad just now that are fit, maybe only 90% fit, get 3 wins, then they've earned maybe the jersey to kind of keep and make the boys coming back from injury a wee bit of a challenge to get it back off of them and go again after that international break.
Aye, it's interesting. Aye. But first and foremost, we need to win tomorrow, Big Ali.
Well, definitely. Aye. Can we just touch on that the team I get? Personally, I quite like that Dowell and I like Lawrence. I like the fact that they're quite big guys and they're physical. So myself, I'd be playing a 4-4-2. I'd have that midfield, Dowell on the left, Lawrence on the right, Cervantes and Raskin, 2 of them doing their thing in the middle of the park. And up front, I'd have Cantwell and Dinalo or Dessers or Roof. Roof preferably if he was fit, would be my first choice. And then I'd just have a simple back 4. Well, we've not got much option there, but it'd be Tavernier, Goldson, Davis and Barisic, and left back and right back could be swapped out with Sterling and Ridvan. That would be the way I would go, because I think Davis has shown a bit of physicality. He's a big guy, and I think we need that. I think we need bigger athletic players in certain positions around about the park. I think that it gives you that. And then everybody else would just Lammers would be a substitute for Cantwell if needed. We can rotate strikers, but a starting striker, Roof or Dinalo, and we take it from there. Like, you know, we've got hang with the shooter. If we need to make a defensive change, I think he can play left or he can play right. And kind of take the loading off the players a wee bit. Take a wee bit of loading off of Goldson. Take a bit of loading off of Tavernier. Take a bit of loading off of Barisic. The slightly older players. You've got Lundstrom and Jack there as no bench warmers, but they're on the bench for when Lawrence or Dowell needs a wee change out, or Raskin, or you know what I mean. So I would go a 4-4-2 personally myself. So. And that made sense, but that's the way I'd look at it.
I get it. I just don't think he will go to a 4-4-2. But
oh no, that's one of the problems. He's not going to listen to me.
Mm-hmm. Listen, if all these players are fit, which is unusual in a season, Southside, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the one time, you have usually somebody out in a football season, don't you?
You usually pick up.
Aye, if they're all fit, you know, you've got selection problems, but positive selection problems, yeah.
Aye, I mean, he should probably have a hard core of about 9 players that he should probably have it set in his head every week, that as long as they're performing. The thing is, Big Al, you're talking about Raskin, we all name him in our team, but he's had a couple of good games, chase back, won balls, but he gives the ball away quite a lot. But on the other side, you've got to think that when he gets it, he's trying to play it forward. So he is probably, from time to time, going to give the ball away. But he's had good positions where he could have played nice passes and he's rushed it and he's gave it away and he's away chasing it to win it back. Maybe Cifuentes in the middle of the park, given time, would give him competition. You know? But as for injuries, as for an injury, maybe you're thinking Cifuentes could maybe have been into the centre of the park now while he was out, but he's went with Lundstrom and that, and moved him to the side. So it's down to him to find the formula, but you're always going to pick up injuries here or there. But I like the fact that if Tom Lawrence is back fit, to try and find him a position in the team, whether it be in and if it has to be the number 10 and Cantwell goes into another position where he's going to be playing well and we can fit the 2 of them in, then great. But the most important thing, Big Al, is win tomorrow, get the European game won. So if we pick the 8 points up, we're in a good position going forward, and then hopefully St Mirren we get the 3 points there, and then we regroup after the break.
Yeah, definitely. That all sounds good.
I'm on with a plan. I know you don't like predictions, Big Al, but are you feeling, I'll ask you another way, are you feeling confident about tomorrow?
No. Because I
No.
think, like I said when I first came on, I think our form, our style of play, whatever this season is, very, very peaks and troughs. So it could be anything. We could win 5-0. We'd probably get beat 1-0. I'll just take it. I'll see how it goes. I'll just get up. I'll watch it. I'm hoping for a win. I just didn't have confidence, yeah.
Be honest, Robert.
I can see why I was obviously a wee bit worried, and obviously not as confident as maybe it would be on a normal basis, just given what the performances have been in the squad we've got. Aberdeen, they always seem to kind of step up their game against us, as we know, and they're a physical side. I don't think that will be any different tomorrow, but at home, I think we've got to obviously take advantage of that. They are obviously played probably the same amount of games as we have this season as well, so they've had a tough run in. It's how the squads can manage it. Confident, I'm always confident we get the win. Again, even though maybe getting a goal conceded in one of my prediction, but I think it's probably right to be nervy, and you probably sense that in the stadium as the longer the game goes on as well. If it's still nothing each, or the performance isn't there, the intensity's not there. But if you grind it out as a Bridgeman and 1-0, then you're going to take it all day.
Did you mention grinder there?
You grind out the result.
Oh, sorry. Just
my drug test is in the morning, remember.
Sorry, no. Just when you have just a message for Albert, who feels very let down that he feels used by Southside with Big Stevie, whatever, but I've just passed on the message. Right,
Albert never said that in his life. He scared me when I says go left, first right, and we ended up going up some person's driveway.
I have heard about that story, mate, but I didn't think it was true.
Albert, that's a driveway you're going up. No, all right, you had to reverse back out again.
He's some man, isn't he?
Aye, no, it was good to get in and see the B team, and he enjoyed it. And you heard him; he was raving about the wee boy McCausland. You know, he looks really good at that age level at the moment. He was really good. He stood out. Like we said, there are 2 or 3 that we mentioned. They look promising, but they're still a wee bit away. Was it, as they used the term, 2 bags of chips in the gym? I think they need to get to, but maybe a year down the line, maybe a year and a half, you think they'd be knocking on the door like Bailey Rice has been at the moment, getting raved about the manager. So it looks like they've got a chance, boys, and Zach Lovelace is in there as well, but he's probably not just ready for the first team, but he's certainly no regular.
Did the manager not say that Bailey Rice was ready?
I think he said he was infused by him, didn't he? And they're getting close. I don't. The manager says
ready.
The manager says a lot. Didn't he?
Aye.
And when it didn't come to fruition, it's all these.
But see, here's the thing. Here's just a quick question. Is there any point in having a youth system if we don't put the players in there? It would best maybe just canning the youth system, saving the money that we spend there and buying a half decent player for the first team. Because if they're not getting in the first team, what's the point?
They're very young, this group, mate. You know, and there's a big gap Southside that's filling that void, that gap. And I don't know if this B team necessarily works for that void.
They're no playing in the league, Big Al. They're playing arranging games, and that was our first team that were playing in the cup. So they done well. I mean, they scored late goals towards the end, but physicality-wise, you can see that they get blotted out of the park if they come in straight away. I mean, the wee boy McCausland, great wee player, skillful. The other wee boy Aaron Lyle as well, middle of the park, great technique, great vision, great pass of the ball, full energy.
How old are they?
They're probably 17. Might be 1 or 2 at 18, I'm not sure, but they'll probably be around about the 17 mark, I think. Ox might be able to check that out while we're talking, but I think so, but physicality-wise, Big Al, you know, they're young wee boys, you know. But listen, they look promising at that age group, and at that age group, they were playing against Alwa's first team in the Challenge Cup. So it was testament to them that they won 4-1 in the end. It was a bad night, and I was chucking it down at Capello, but it was good to go and see them. It was a freshness, and the big goalkeeper looked good as well. Big tall boy. The boy McKinnon, the boy Lyons. 20. Right, well, 20, well, if they're that old, then they should be knocking the door down, hopefully within the next year.
Well, Cosland, 20 and all.
Are they as old as that, are they? Right, well, they should be knocking the door down, hopefully soon next season, and they really should be.
They're all the men they're going to be, aren't they?
They will need to go to the gym. They'll need to go to the gym. They will need to build themselves up. To come in and play in this league, you need to get you need to put a bit of muscle on.
Well, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. Big Al, last word.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Take care, boys.
Good to hear from you, mate. Always.
Right.
Cheers, big man. Good to hear you on.
Right, no worries. All right, take care.
Cheers, mate. Robert. Give your charity, give your sleep out a shout out, and all. Remember, don't forget.
No, I've been practicing the link here, thanks to the techie boys in the background for pinning it to the socials. Good night.
You the bit of mayor, didn't you?
I did, mate. I'm hoping to start my Friday again at 10 o'clock here. No, good show, mate. Good to be on with yourself in Southside. Good chat tonight. Looking forward to the game tomorrow, and hopefully it's 5 wins on the bounce. And again, if you do donate and looking to donate to my sleep out at Ibrox in November, the links are on social media, and it is, let me get it again now, www.tinyurl.com/Rob's Sleepout. Again, small donation is much appreciated, as big as a donation is as well. So thanks again for having me, Ox, and cheers.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon, mate. Great to have you on, and great thing you're doing, mate. Great thing. Southside.
Aye, no, thanks for having us on tonight, Ox. It was good to do a show with Robert, one of the young team. And it was thoroughly enjoyed the night. It's good to hear Big Al on as well, and the rest of the callers, mate. So thanks for having us on. I'll roll on tomorrow to batter the sheep. 2-0, 3-0 for Rangers will do me, mate, and get 3 points in the bag. Oh, and I'll tell Big Stevie I'll meet him tomorrow behind the Copeland. I'll get him tomorrow.
The big man's back. Looking very tanned, I believe.
Aye. Seen a couple of 40s. Certainly is. But I'll meet him tomorrow at the Copy.
Yeah. Right, listen, can we thank, let me just get this right. We thank Stuart for coming on and joining us, and Robbie, Big Al, and of course the one and only Big Andy, all the way through. Where was he? Was he?
Fuerteventura?
That's exactly what it was, mate. Aye, all the way through there. I think he was enjoying himself. Thanks to your good self, Southside, and Robert for doing the show. Fox and Old School for the background, doing the technical stuff. Everybody for listening. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, building up to Rangers victory at Ibrox against Aberdeen. Thanks for listening. Take it away, Old School boy.